Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on part 4 of our Matchplay project. We're going to be finishing up the server part, we're going to be finishing up the client front end side and working on the back end component. Actually, let's not say we're going to be finishing up the front end side. We're going to be working on a majority of it before we get into the chat aspect. But so far this is what we have. So if you come over here, as you can see, we have our register and our login functionality. That's what we put in last time. So let's see if we can log in. Actually, let's go into our database and sign in. Let's see. Okay, so I'll sign in and get right back to get you guys. Okay, so we're back in our database, and as you can see, this is our credentials, test and test.com. So I'm guessing it's going to be test. Is this email or yeah, test@test.com, test. Okay, it might be test@test.com and test1 maybe. Yep, and close. So we're having problems because right now we're not getting our users not being shown as a user, and that's due to a number of reasons. So we can just get started now. Let's come over to our server. So let's close this and let's do something. Let's create our logout. So for our logout, it's gonna be whatever. We could just place it right at the bottom here. It doesn't matter as much. So we're gonna say exports.logout is equal to async request response, and here we're gonna say try catch, and res.clear cookie auth token. So we're gonna clear that cookie out, and we're gonna pass in this, say path is gonna be this, HTTP only is gonna be true. We're gonna say max age, and we're gonna put the age to 0 because we want to clear it out, and we want to secure to say false for right now. So we're gonna do this now. Actually, one of you guys in the comments was kind enough to let me know that I can actually, let's do this. I can actually go into our extensions and get a spell checker. So let's see if I can find one. What's this one? Code spell checker, basic spell that works for code and documents. Okay, so I think this has a 9 million downloads, so we'll just pick this one. There we go. Let's see. And how does it work? Functionality. Quick fix. Okay, so we're just gonna use this. So thanks for that thanks for that advice. As you can see, it's already starting to work. So just so we can make sure it works better, let's just close out of this and let's reopen it. This would be Matchplay YouTube. We're gonna reopen it and we're gonna see if it works. There we go. So it seems like it's already working because I can't spell, as you can see. Quick fix. Let's see, success. Is that how you spell it? Doesn't show an error. So yeah, so thanks for that advice. If you know any other, if you guys have any other extensions that I can use to better help the coding process, the speed or whatever, just let me know and I will check it out. So salute to you, thank you so much. And let's see. Okay, so now we want to return a status of 200 with a JSON message of logout successful. Okay, I think I just don't know how to spell successful. Is it one L? Yeah, successful. And now we can console.log error and res.status 500.json message server error. Cool. Okay, so now we have our logout. So all we have to do is now come into our routes. Yeah, see, I'm not gonna mess with these because we already have them set. So we're just gonna leave it at set, at that. Wait, what just happened? Hold up. Did you just do something? Controller, auth controller? What's wrong with auth controller?
Music licensing reimagined.
Okay, routes. Oh. It's just, I think this, maybe I spelled it wrong, or when it got imported, it got, so this should be a capital C because this over here is a capital C. That was interesting. So now we can say route.get/logout, and we're just going to use logout. So now the only thing we have to do is add authenticate here, and we're all set. So since this is done now, we can now come into our auth context within our client part and update our auth context. So where's our auth context? We have source, auth context. So within our auth context, what we want to do is add, where is it? We want to add a logout functionality. And we're going to do so by coming down here and saying const logout is equal to async an arrow function, and we're just going to use a try catch again. And for the try, we're going to say await axios.get/user/logout, because we're getting that logout function, and with credentials we're going to say is true, because we're going to be passing some credentials. And okay, why can't I see anything? With credentials is true. And we're going to say set user to null, so we don't want the user to appear anymore. And then we want to say window dot location dot reload, so we want to reload the page and then navigate to our register page. So now for catch, we want to say console.log error, and we're all set. So now let's actually do this. cd into server here, clear npm run start, cd into client here, npm run client, npm run dev, and let's reopen this. Here we go. So we can close this out. Cool. So now let's see. So this wouldn't work yet. We have to pass this in here to logout, and there we go. So once we do that, now logout is part of our where is it? Let's come here. So now logout is going to be passed through all the components in here. So that's pretty much all we're doing right at this moment. So let's go over to Navbar and implement that. So if we go over to our Navbar, source, components, Navbar, we can now add, so with user, we want to go to this button and we want to click, we want to add an on click, and we're going to be adding logout. But before we do so, we have to get the logout via the use auth. So let's see if this works. So now let's make this a bit smaller. So if we log in here, test@test.com, test 1, this should say, oh, it still says register. I think it's because, yeah, so right now there's still no user being fetched. So let's do this also. Let's come here and let's inspect this. So why is this coming up with a 401? Authentication failed, token missing. So for some reason we're not able to get that token. So let's see, why is that happening? So if we come over to user, oh, okay, I know why. So let's go over here. So in AuthContext, sorry, not AuthContext, in App.jsx, right here, we need to add something called axios.defaults. Is it axios.credentials.defaults? So what we want to say is axios.defaults.withCredentials is equal to true. So if we do so, now we're able to get those credentials passed. So now let's try and see if that helps. So let's close out of that. Test@test.com, test 1.
Artlist.io.
So are we still getting /hero does not have element? Okay, let's close out of that. Okay, so what we can do is let's close out of this and settings. No, not settings. Let's go over to Chrome, clear browsing data, and we just want to clear the cache. There we go. And now, there we go. So now we can say clear npm run start, and here we can clear this and say npm run dev. Clear npm run dev. What? Oh, there we go. So what's the problem now? Let's see. Axios is not defined in app.js. So let's import Axios. So as you can see, that wasn't going to work. What we did the first time with this wasn't going to work. So I'm glad that we cleared the cache, because now it should work. So let's try it now. There we go. So let's see. Let's go over to login, test@test.com, test 1, and let's see. That still says register. Why are we not being? Let's see, hero. Okay, so let's do this. Let's come over here, and in our source folder, we're going to create a new folder, and this is going to be called page. Yeah, pages, either or. And this is going to be called HeroPage.jsx. And we're going to say RAFCE. Now we can go over here and add that element. And this element is going to be called HeroPage. So now let's try it again. And let's come over here. Let's say test@test.com, test 1, login. Okay, so we don't get that error. However, let's come over to HeroPage. And let's say class name. Let's give it a pattern of about 12. Let's see if we're able to see HeroPage. There we go. So we do see HeroPage. It works. Now the problem is, let's come back to AuthContext. So we're getting this slowly, and let us console. Not over there. Let's come over here and let's console log user. Let's see. It says null. So we're getting nothing back. That's why this is still saying register, because nothing is coming back And that's why this is, that's why it's not saying logout, because currently there is no user. So let's try it again. Test at test.com, test1. Now we get undefined. So we don't have a user currently. So let's see why that's so. So user/userinfo. And if we go over to routes in our server, this is why, because it says user capital I for info. So we can change that easily and just say user info, and now it should work. So let's come over here, let's close this out, let's start over, and now if we say test at test.com, test1, still says undefined. Interesting. So let's do this. Clear npm run start, clear npm run dev. Now if we open this up, let's close this, log in, test at test.com, test. But before that, let's open up our console. Let's see, log in. Test at test.com, test1, still says undefined. So we're having trouble somewhere. So let's see, user/userinfo, routes user/userinfo. Okay, how about we do this? Let's create our profile page first, and when we save our profile, then let's see if we continue to get that problem. So let's go over to profile components, and we're going to create something called Profile.jsx. Cool. And in profile, we're going to have a bunch of things imported. So we're going to import Axios. Actually, first let's import use state, and let's import use effect. And now we can import Axios from Axios, and we can import use navigate from React router DOM. And that should be good enough for right now. Let's just give this a space right here. And const profile, what we want to say is const first name, set first name, and we're going to say use state, and we're going to be, so what we're doing essentially is, let's open our match project here. This is mine, my original project, and we're going to say cd into server, clear npm run start, and here we're going to cd into client, clear npm run start, clear npm run dev. That's just going to open on 3000. So yeah, so just a couple of things. We're going to change the color of ours, because ours right now is showing up as red instead of green, so we're going to change that. So now here, if I log in, okay, let's okay, that works. So now if I go to profile, this is what we're building out. We're building out this page. So that's what I want to do right now. So we can go back to our match play, and we're going to say const first name, and this is going to be email, set email, use state, and let's actually do this. So we have okay, so we have email, we have rating, set rating, cool. We have time to play, set time to
Artlist
play. We have selected days, and this is going to be set selected days. We have gender, set selected gender.
Music licensing reimagined.
We have backup email. Set backup email. What else do we need? Yeah, new backup email. And you're gonna see why that's important. Set new backup email. Birth date. We're gonna have set birth date. That should be all. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we're gonna also have const navigate is equal to use navigate. We're gonna be using use effect later on. So actually, since we already have our backend configured for profile, so if you come over to our backend for controller, for update profile and just get profile. Yeah, for get profile, we have all this: first name, email, rate into up until birth date. So that's all we need. So now we can just use our use effect to get that. So we can say use effect, and in our use effect, we're gonna just get const fetch profile is equal to response. Actually, no, it's not. It's equal to async arrow function, and this is going to be try catch. What just happened? Try catch. There we go. And we're going to say const response is equal to await axios.get /user/profile. Is it get profile or profile? Yep, /profile. And then we can come back here. And now we can say const profile data is equal to response.data. So that's what we're going to call the data that we collect. And we can now say const default birth date. So for the birth date, when you open up your profile, we want it to be the date of. So we're gonna say it's either profile data dot birth date. So what we put in as the birth date, or for the profile dot birth date, it's either the new date. There we go. Which is gonna be profile data dot birth date. So it's either what we chose as the birth date, profile, what do we call it here? Profile data dot birth date. Yep. It's either going to be that, or it's just going to be today's date. So meaning if I let's open this again. For example, if I open up this profile right now, it's going to show me today's birth date if I haven't set this birth date to my own personal birth date. It's giving me that option. So because this can't be empty, so it's required. So if I need this, rather than it just be empty, it's going to show me today's birth date. And now I can configure it to a date of my own. So yeah. So we can do that. But we're going to set the birth date to default birth date. So it's gonna add. So this question is gonna be asked within this birthday. So if there's for birthday, if we have a profile dot birth date, that's gonna be the new date. If not, it's gonna be today's date. So just new date. Cool. Okay, so we have set birth date. Now we want to do the same for every single one of them. So we want to have set first name, and set first name is going to be profile data dot first name. So I'm going to do a couple of these until you understand what's going on, and then I'm just going to copy and paste to make things go a little faster. So this is going to be profile data dot email. This is going to be set rating, and this is going to be, you guessed it, profile data dot email. So not email, dot rating. So we're just going to do that, but what I'm going to do is copy and paste. So let's see if I can go over to my where are we? Let's see, profile, and then I'm just going to come over here, and I'm just going to grab all this. I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm going to show you what I just did. So everything is the same. Everything set time to play is going to be the same thing. Profile dot data time to play, set selected days, profile data dot selected days, set gender. Hold up, do I not have set gender here? Ooh, I'm just going to put this as set gender then. Good catch. There we go. And then for the catch error, we're gonna say console.log error. Actually, we can say console.error error fetching profile, and this is gonna have error. Cool. So let's lint. Okay, I guess we can't because that's why. There we go. And let's see. Cool. Okay, now right at the bottom, where are we? We can now call this fetch profile. So now we call the fetch profile. And nothing's really gonna happen right now because we don't have anything within our database that it's calling. So what we can do is build this out. So let's build this out by saying div class name is going to be flex items center. We're going to have justify center min height screen background green 100. We're going to have form, and within our form is where most of what we're going to do is going to take place. So we're going to say background white, shadow medium, rounded, padding X of 8, padding top of 6, padding bottom of 8, and median margin bottom of 4. Then we have a margin top of 16, and that should be good enough for our form. So let's go over to App.jsx real quickly, and let's give it a path. Let's give profile a path /profile, and this should be profile. Cool. So let's see if we log in here, test at test.com, test at test.com, test 1, whatever. So we're not able to see this because our user is still not being fetched. So this is still a little weird because right now it should tell us that we have a user. So let's go over to our auth controller. We don't really need that right now. Is this spelling? Okay, this is spelling. All right, that's not a problem. So let's go over to our auth controller. Yeah, that's correct. And let's go to user info. So what is up with our user info? So first name, user.first name. Okay. And right now it's telling us that it's undefined. Let's see.
Music licensing reimagined.
So it's saying it's undefined. Why so? AuthContext, number 36. So if we go to AuthContext, 36, users undefined. .get user/userinfo. Let's see if our ID is being fetched. That should also say, what is it? UID. Yep, I should also say no. So let's see what the error is here.
Artlist.io.
So something's wrong with our secret, I guess? Okay, so where's authenticate? Okay. We do have a secret. So let's go back to authenticate. Token. Oh, wait a minute. This should say new date. That could be a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. So let's see, does that, nope, that doesn't fix it. Invalid signature at where? 171. I get secret. Verify.js and 95. Okay, so I was able to fix the let's just make this bigger. So I was able to fix the JWT error. What I had to do was come back and create a new secret. So just go ahead and use go to your terminal, go in there and type in node like such. This is going to come up, and then just type in require crypto dot random bytes 20 dot string dot toString hex, and it's going to give you a bunch of it's going to give you a long string, and you got to use this. I think when I first did it in the first video or second video, whichever video I created the secret in, I did it a bit wrong, or I did it in a weird way because the string was way longer than it needed to be. So I just ended up doing that, and I was able to fix the problem. So you're probably gonna have to stop the server and start it back up along with the client, and you should be fine. So for right now, it's still gonna say there's no it's still gonna say, actually, yeah, for right now it's still gonna say there's no user. So to debug that, we're gonna have to build a user, because right now we're only getting this. It's saying if there's no user.profile, we're getting this. So now we have to create the user so that we can debug further. If not, we're just gonna be running the same circle. So that's where we're at right now. So we can go ahead and just continue. Okay, so now if we come over here, so I opened up our database again, now we can actually see what the real problem is. So as you can see, our first name has not been set, our birth date's not been set, our rating's not been set, and none of this has been set. So if you go over to users, I believe the problem is, let's see, when we get to get profile, sorry, when we when we create a user, it's supposed to save the first name, email, password, everything as such within our profile also. So right now nothing's being saved. So as you can see in our schema, we don't have a profile, so it's not connected. So profile needs to be how's it go again? It's this would be user, and it would be, let's see if we did it here. Yep, type. Sorry, I don't know why I'm blanking. Type would be object. Let's just take it from here. Type, and let's pop it in there. And the reference would be user. So, yep, would be actually this would be profile.
Music licensing reimagined.
Yep, this should be profile. All right, so now we can go ahead and so this should work now. So our problem was we were missing that. That's why it's good to debug. See, so we're all set. So we're not having, there we go. See, high test, we're not having that problem anymore. Now we can actually fix our, see, so we're all set. Now, if we log out, so logout still doesn't work, but as you can see, everything works. Everything else works how it's supposed to, except for actually logout works, I guess. Inspect. Let's come over here. Let's see. So because we haven't written the logic that says if we log out, take us right back to the hero page. I guess that maybe we did write the logic, but it's not working as of right now. But let's try and register, log in again. So test1 at test.com, test1. That is not a correct login. So test at test.com, test1. Cool. So let's see. Okay, so there's a problem now. Okay, cannot read properties of undefined. Well, this shouldn't matter at this point. Let's just close out of this. We can leave that open. Let's just clear our browsing data and clear the cache. Cool. And now we can come back here. I know we took a complete 180. It's just we have to debug this in order to move forward. So let's just try and get this done. So now I can figure out what the actual problem is. So let's go to network, test at test.com. Actually, let's do this. Let's delete profile and let's delete users. So now we're just starting afresh. So rather than this, we would actually go to register and we would register again. Test1 at test.com. And this would be test1. Submit. Whoa. Okay. Now we have a problem. So let's stop the server. And our problem is we are, let's see. So for some reason, this just keeps, we just keep calling that profile. So let's see, socket hang up. Okay, so let's go over to profile. And let's see. Wait, is this the, this is a model controller. Okay, so when we come to profile, as you can see in our use effect, we did not put an empty array as the dependency, as the dependency. So we need an empty array here. So now when we do this over, we shouldn't get that. So let's try it again. So now, does logout work? Nope. So let's close out of this. Let's clear browsing data again. Let's clear the cache. And then when we come here, let's open this up. And let's see, inspect, console, network. So let's try it again. I think we used test1 at test.com and test1. There we go. So now, as you can see, it only calls it once. Profile incomplete, payload, response, cookies, we're getting the cookies, everything's working fine. And yep, we're all set. So everything works fine. So let's see. Hi test1. We're all set. So all we have to do now is fix our CSS, and let's see if our logout works. So our logout actually isn't working. So that's something we can fix. But as of right now, what if we go into profile, network? As you can see, profile pops this up. So first name is test1, email, backup email, birth date, and all these are still empty. So we're still on the right track. So now we just have to finish with our building out this Profile.jsx. So let's see. So why is this? That's because of this. It's not returning anything because of return div. There we go. So let's see. As you can see, now we have something in our profile. So it just coding's all about being patient sometimes, and you'll just quietly debugging and you'll be able to figure things out. So let's come back over to our auth controller, and let's just take out this console log. So we have to fix our logout, and I'm guessing that's a front end error kind of thing, and we'll fix that and keep moving. So let's take this out, and let us take this out. So now we don't have that. That doesn't keep populating. So let's make this smaller again. Bam. Let's do that. So now we can, let's close out of all of this. Profile. There we go. And now we're on let's do that. Cool. So we're still building out our form. Okay. So we're still building out our form. And where are we on our form now? Let's see. We built up the actual form thing. Cool. So now we can build out the div. And our div is going to say class name, margin bottom of 4. Okay. And we can say h1 class name. And this is going to be with full height. Full, and it's gonna say, actually it's gonna say profile. Cool. Now let's give it a little bit more styling. Let's give it a text of 4XL. Let's center it. Text center. Padding of 5. Font bold. Text green, which is gonna be 800. Cool. So it looks a little bit better. Now under our H1 we can have a label, and this label is gonna say class name, block, text gray, 600. Yeah, let's go with 600. Text small, font bold, margin bottom of 2. Cool. And now we can just call this email. and you should see where this is going. So now we can now input our class name for this. Shadow border rounded. I should say border rounded with full. Pattern Y of 2, pattern X of 3, text gray of 700. Let's see.
Artlist.io.
Cool. That's where that's gonna go. So actually, let me just, so instead of doing the same old thing, let's just go to our client and say, where is it? We're just gonna grab
Music licensing
this.
reimagined.
The first div. So we're gonna do this. So our first div, and I'm doing this just so, there it is. So now we can see the whole thing. So now I can just copy and paste going forward. So we have the same CSS, gray 700, text small, and the input is going to be shadow, appearance none, border rounded, focus shadow outline, type is text, placeholder is going to be first name. The value is the first name, and because we already have a first name from our database, it's going to populate there as first name. And then actually what we can also do is say capitalize. There we go. So it's going to say first name. On change is going to be set first name eTarget.value and required. So I'm only doing it this way just because the CSS portion does take a while, and all we have to do now is just copy and paste. So this is going to be email. So now we don't even have to worry about the other stuff. We just go ahead and finish doing this. Set email. Hold up. What just happened? Oh. There we go. And then take this out.
Music licensing
Cool. And now we don't need this to be capitalized because it's email. Well, email is over here. We should say email. And we don't need this to be capitalized. Cool. And after email, we have what do we have? We have rating, I believe. Let's see. First name, email, rating. Yeah, we have the rating. So let's go ahead and, so this is gonna change to rating instead of first name. But what we can do here is we can actually just take out the whole let's see, what's the easiest way to do this? So I have email. Oh, actually it's going to be alternate email. So let's change this to, yeah, we're just going to have this side by side, so it's a lot easier rather than just copy and pasting. So I have email, and I'm just going to come down here and have this as alternate email. So we have email over there. This is going to be alternate email. Type is email. This should say alternate email, and this should say what did we have it as here? New backup email. And this should say set new backup email. Okay, so now what do we have? We have birth date. So birth date's a little different because we're gonna be building out kind of a calendar instead of just having a random old birth date you could pick from. So here it's gonna be the same class name of margin bottom of 4. And down here we're gonna have label, class name, block. So we're just gonna copy the same one here. Gray as 700. Text small, font bold, margin bottom of 2. Let's bring this. That's fine. Actually, the label is gonna say birth date. Cool. And after we do that, we're gonna have an input. Type is gonna be date. So that's an input type. The class name is gonna be pattern2 border and with full. This one's gonna go like that. So now let's see what we have so far. As you can see, we have this because we state that the input type is date, we get this. So if you click on it, you get the date. So if you take this out, oops, you don't get that. But if you do this, you get that. So that's what we're going to be going with. So let's try and link this for a second. Cool. So we have that, and let's keep working. Let's make this a bit smaller. Cool. So we have date, our class name, we already built that. We have the value, and our value is going to be a ternary operator, which is going to say birth date instance of date. We want birth date to ISO string, so we want it as a string. Then we want to split T and O, unless we want an empty string. So what this is saying is birthday instance of is asking if this variable birth date is an instance of the JavaScript object date. So if it is, we're going to take that birth date and change it into a string. If we do change, whenever we do change it into a string, we're going to get both the date and the time. So we don't want to take the time. We only want the date. So we're going to split it at T and take the first part of it, which would be the date. If it's not an instance of date, then we just want to keep it as an empty string. So that's all we're saying here. And since today's the 13th, well, it's 13 somewhere. So since the date says 13th here, that's what it's going to pick. So we can then go ahead and pick any other date. So you can pick the 20. Hold up. So we go ahead and let's see. All right, let's just keep it at this for right now, and we will get to that. So we haven't picked our we haven't picked the what's it called, our unchange yet or anything like that. So let us come back to this. Cool. And now, yeah, we didn't pick our unchange yet, so let's do that, and we should be good to go. Unchange is equal to E set birth date. I don't know why it's not showing. Should set birth date, new date, e.target value. So whatever we pick, and this is going to be required as well. So now let's see. There we go. So now it works. So we just have to fit that in there. So now if we click today, we're back. So today is the 12th. So that's why I said it's 13 somewhere. Okay, so that part was quite easy. And then we just keep going. So now we want to select, we want to create gender. So gender is pretty much the same concept. Let's just do this, and except here the label is going to say gender. And when I say the same concept, I do mean like the idea behind it. So it's nothing really that special. It's just done a little bit different. So here it's going to be a select because we're selecting the gender. So P2 border rounded with full text green 800. Value is going to be gender. Cool. Let's see. Now we can say on change, is going to be e set gender e.target.value, and we're going to require it.
Music licensing reimagined.
Cool. So now if we look over here, we have this drop down, but there's nothing to select yet. So that's where options come in. So now we're going to create our options, and where is it? Oh, sorry. It should just say, there we go. So now within select, we're going to have option. So within option, and I know we live in a different world now, so we're not going to have just like the male and female. So you go ahead and put as many options as you want. I'm just going to go with male, female, other. You don't have to do that. This is I just choose to do that. It's a lot faster than typing out a lot. So, but you don't have to do that. You just go with whatever you choose to do. So I'm just going to put select gender. And now option value. Actually, I'm just going to copy it from here because it's just 3. Okay. So I have 3 options here. So for so within option value, so the first option value is going to be an empty string, and it's just going to say select gender. There's nothing going to be in it. And then the other one is there's no value attached to it. It's just an empty string. The other ones have values, and the values correspond to the data that's being shown. So for male, the value is going to be male. Female, the value is going to be female. Other, the value is going to be other. When you save that, if you come over here, now the select gender shows here. If you come down, it says male, female, other, and that's all we're trying to do here. So we're done with that. And I believe the last we have rating, and rating is going to be the same way. So I'm just going to copy it. It's going to be the exact same thing. The only difference is the rating is going to be 1.5 to 2.0, 2.5 to 3.0, 3.5 to 4.0, 4.5 plus. And for tennis players out there, you know, those are the USTA ratings that you can get. I don't know if it goes higher than a 4.5, but this is the pretty basic one. And it's just going to be called label. The label is just going to be rating. The value is going to be rating. Unchanged is going to be set rating and the target value. And you have this. So that's pretty much the same thing. So now the harder part is going to be called give class name. The harder part is going to be the checkbox. So for this label class name, just in case you guys are also trying to look at this, let's make this look a little better. Okay, I guess that's the best I can make it look. So label class name, we're gonna say let's go back up here. Our class name is gonna be block text gray 700, text small, font bold, margin bottom of 2. And it's only doing that because we didn't close it out. And this is going to say days available to play. And within days available to play, we're going to have another, well, outside of the label, we're going to have another div. And this is going to be called class name flex. And we're going to wrap this. So now we want days. Let's see. Actually, I think we didn't write out that logic yet. So let's minimize this and let's write out our logic. So okay, so let's write out our logic. So we're gonna say const days. Well, it's not really our logic, but I guess we can just do that. Days of the week is equal to an array, and the array is going to have, well, you know, the days of the week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's pretty repetitive. So, but you know, you guys know what it is. Thursday and Friday. Oh, we forgot Saturday. I'm impressed. I didn't spell anything wrong. Okay, so we have that. So now, let's see, let's come back here. We can now map through it. So now we just come in here, we take that days of week, and we map through it. And we map through the day. So this is just a variable that, you know, that corresponds to the day of the week we're talking about. So we take that, and now we can go on and build our build out the interface for it. So a label is going to have a key, and the key is going to be the day of the week. So class name, margin of 2. Cool. Now within the input, within the label, we're going to have the input, and the input type is going to be checkbox. So when we do this, you're going to see what that looks like. So we have a checkbox. So now nothing shows yet, and the value is going to be is it select day, or where do we use for it? Selected days. So we're still building that out. So it's going to be, oh, the value is going to be day, not selected day, because we're mapping through it. So it's going to be the day, and we're going to say if it's checked, then we want to say selected days dot includes the day of the week. So that way we're able to get multiple things selected, so we know what's being selected. And now we can say if on change, rather than e dot whatever, we're actually going to write a function, and this function is going to state that const updated selected days is equal to selected days dot includes day. So actually, let's finish it out, and then I'll like elaborate how I did with the how I did over here with the birthday. So let's finish this out, and I'll explain to you what's going on. So includes day.
Music licensing reimagined.
Then if selected days that includes the day, then selected days dot splits. Let's wrap this splits. We're gonna be split at the comma dot filter, and we're gonna be filtering at d does not equal day dot join. So it looks complicated, but trust me, when I explain what's going on, it's not really complicated. Selected days dot length is greater than 0. We're gonna say selected days. This is why I wanted side by side, just so, because here we're using more logic than just CSS. I just didn't want to get something wrong and have to come back and, you know, debug all over again. But I'll be sure to explain what's going on. Okay, so basically when we click the checkbox, we're executing the code and we're triggering the state, a change to the state, and then we're selected days that includes day is checking to see if the current day is already within the selected days array. And then if it's there, then it's going to remove that selected days from the list of selected days. I know I'm saying selected days a lot. So if not, if they're already selected days, it's just going to add that current day to the list. Else, it's going to set the current day as the selected day. So this is one of those things where I said it's easier to see it in action while it's working than to just explain. So that's basically the logic being explained. So we're gonna see what it means when we actually use it. So hopefully that did help with what the logic means, but we're gonna see it in action. So let's see, set selected days. Hold up. Hold on. Why are we having this problem? I thought we just basically copied and pasted. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's because it's supposed to be here. Duh. So set selected days and update selected days. And now here we can now give it a class name of margin right of 2. So if we come over, if we actually just click on that. So days available to play. So we have nothing here right now. And once we finish up the code, which is we just add the day here. Okay, I don't know why I didn't do anything. There we go. Day. We should be able to see the day now. Hold up. Let's change this. And let's change that. Okay, there we go. So it's just the way it was this arrow function. Okay, so we just have to change that to parentheses and change these to parentheses. I was like, what is going on here? So if we come over to, let's just minimize this. If we come over here, you can see the checkboxes are available. So you can select this, select that. And I just explained the logic. So it's working as it's supposed to. So let's keep chucking along. So let's see. Now we have, okay, so we have a select option, and this is going to be time looking to play. It's pretty much the same thing we've done earlier. So I'm just going to take that, and I am actually should be here. There we go. And I'm just going to paste it here, and we're just going to go over it. It's going to be the same class name, same label class name, except this is going to say time looking to play. Select option. Well, so the select is going to have this class name here, which I believe is still similar to the other class names we've had for select. The name is time to play. The value is time to play. Unchained is set time to play, e.target.value, and we're going to require it. The option is going to be option value. The first one is a playtime with no value. It's just an empty string. The second value is morning, and we're going to say morning is pretty much 6 to 11 a.m. Afternoon is 12 to 4 p.m. Evening is 5 to 9 p.m. Now you can break this down however you want in terms of playtime. The value for the playtime, you can say morning, brunch, whatever. But this is what I have. So we can just do that. And then now for the button, actually, yeah, we could build out the button together. That's fine. So for the button, all we have to say is div, and we're going to say class name is flex items center. Yeah, center, justify between. I'm going to add a button here, and we're going to say it's called save profile. Cool. And this button is going to have the class name background green of 500, hover background green of 600, text is going to be white, font is bold, pattern Y 2, pattern X 4, rounded. Let's wrap this. There we go. Let's do that. Rounded, focus is going to be outline none, focus is going to be shadow. Let's go shadow outline. So now we're all done with this, and we're going to give it a type, and that type is going to be submit. Cool. So since it's going to be within this form is going to have an on submit logic that we're going to implement in here, but we haven't built that out. So all we have to do now is build that out. So let's just minimize this, and it's going to look like that. So now we can focus on just writing the function. So let's make this bigger, and we can come over here, and our function is going to say, actually, so let's just create the handle submit. So it's going to be handle submit is equal to async, and it's just going to house e event, and it's going to house basically all the logic we need. So e.prevent default we can say if selected days dot length is equal to 0, then alert select at least one day as available to play, and we're going to return this. So what this is saying is when we do submit this form, if our selected days.length is 0, meaning for this checkbox, if we didn't check anything in that checkbox, then we want to alert select at least one day is available to play, and that's all this part is saying. So now we can add more logics within this handle submit. We can say const update profile data, and this is going to update our data in the database. So first name, email, rating, time to play, selected days, gender, birth date, and we want to say birth date is going to be birth date dot to ISO string, and that's it. What is the problem? Oh, it's the word, it's the spelling. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that's correct. And then backup email is going to be new backup email. Cool. Okay, so now we can write some logic. So we can say try catch, and here we're going to say await, well, const response is equal to await Axios dot post, because we're going to be posting this to /user/. So if we come to our routes, I believe is update profile /profile update /profile. Is it capitalized? Profile update /profile update. And we're going to be passing in update profile data. Okay. And now the logic that goes along with this is going to say if response.data.message, meaning the message we get from the backend is profile updated successfully. What am I spelling wrong here? There we go. Profile updated successfully. Then hold up. Then we want to say set email to response.data email. And now we can navigate to /hero. And this is after we update this is after we update the information. So if we come across an error, then console log error, and you want to say profile update, and then you want the error to be error.message, and you want to alert window alert error.message, so that way the user immediately knows what's going on. Yeah, this is good so far. So now we can take that handle submit, and where's the form here?
Music licensing reimagined.
Unsubmit, and we'll say handle submit. So if we save this, I don't know why this is still console login. Okay, let's find why it's console login really quickly and take that out. Well, it's not because of that. So take this out, take that out, and just find auth controller. So let's see, console.log. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. There we go, that's why. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So now we're good. Yeah, so I just don't want that to keep console login. So if we go back to this, let's open this up and let's see. So if we come here, inspect it, go to network. So let's fix this. So birthday, whatever. Let's go to 97. So 1997. And let's just pick Halloween. Okay, and now gender, male, rating 2/5, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and playtime, let's say in the morning, and let's save that. Okay, so as you can see, we have this, and now we have to change that, because if you have underscore backup here, that is not an email. That's not a correct email syntax. You have to have it this way. So the reason we did that was so that people know to change their to pay attention to what the alternate email is, so that way they don't put a wrong one. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and try and save that. Okay, so now we have a 404 because it's saying we can't post to that. Let's see why. So if we come over here and we come to our routes, we have profile update. Okay, and here we have, okay, so that is the problem. It's not a post, it's a put, because it's updating, so it's going to be put. So hopefully one of you guys caught that before I did. So axios.put, because even here in the routes it says it says route.put. So now let's try that again. So let's go ahead, let's clear that out, and okay, so now let's try this: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, playtime in the morning, select rating 2530. Let's see, backup. There we go. Now we have a 500 code. Server error. Why is that? Okay. Gender is not defined. Exports that. So let's see. Let's go over to auth controller, line 212. So it's saying user.profile.gender. So let's go to our profile model. Did we put gender here?
Music licensing reimagined.
Yes. So gender is not defined. How is it not defined? So let's go back here. Oh, we forgot to place gender in here. And that would make sense. So let's give it a whole try again. Actually, let's look in our database real quickly. Let's make sure this did update. As you can see, gender still didn't do that. So let's go over here. Let's delete this profile. And then let's start by opening this back up. So
Music licensing reimagined.
Okay, so let's go over to login, and we're gonna fix that bug in a second. But let's go over to login, test 1 at test.com, test 1. Okay, now if we go over to profile, see, nothing's there. And that's because we deleted that profile. So let's delete the user also. So now we're starting completely from scratch. So let's clear this browsing data. Close out of this.
Music licensing reimagined.
I'm gonna go right into, so we have to register rather than log in. So test at test.com, test 1. Submit. Cool. Okay, so we shouldn't get any errors now. Cool. Now let's see. Gender, male, birth date. Let's pick what we picked before. So 97. October 31st. That's fine, whatever. Rating 2-5, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Time looking to play 12 to 4. Let's pick that instead. Save profile. Okay, so we still have that problem. See, if we don't do that, I completely would have forgotten about it. Test backup. Save. So now everything's within, as you can see. So if we go to our database, what's this? We can close out of that. So you go to database, refresh it, and our profile should have everything we need. There we go. And user, there we go. Okay, so now the question is, why is it not sending us right to the user page afterwards? To the hero page afterwards. So if we come back to profile, so here's the thing. Did I spell it the same way? So response, profile updated success, because it has to be this. Yup, that's why.
Music licensing reimagined.
So if I didn't spell it correctly in the back end, it's not going to work here. So let's try it now. So let's save that. And let's save this again. There we go. Now we're back in the hero page. Okay, so it's just it once again spelling. So, but this time it was the structure of the spelling. So just like that, we're back in the hero page. So let's quickly fix our CSS really quickly. And now that we have the user show up, we can do a lot more things with it. So now what we can do is we can come over to, let's close out of this. And let's just come here. Cool. Now we can come over. So we're done with our profile for the most part. Actually, we're pretty much done with profile. Register, login, our hero page, we can come back to AuthContext. So right now, for some reason, Logout isn't working properly. So we can actually fix that. So we don't need this right now. So let's close out of that. And for this, we'll just keep it at /user. /info. I think I did that when I was debugging. Cool. Okay, so we have logout. Actually, let's fix our CSS real quick. So if we look over here, let's see, network. Just before we do that, let me see something. Logout. Okay, so logout doesn't work here. Does it work on a big screen? So let's see. Okay, so logout works on a bigger screen, but it doesn't work on a small screen. So that's fine. It's not a matter of the back end now. It's a matter of how we implemented it in the front end. So what we want to do real quick is come over to our, let's see, let's come over to Navbar. Let's come over on Navbar, and here, so when we come over to Navbar, we can come down to here. So it's saying if there's no user, then this, but if there's no user, it shouldn't be red because that's logout. So this should be green 600 and green, let's say 800. So now if we go back here, there we go, that should be green. Okay, so that's one problem fixed. Now if we keep going, we can come over to where it says user, and for this user, we want this to just be logout, right? And we're gonna give it an onClick, and this onClick is going to say arrow function, and it's going to say logout. And handle, is it handle menu
Music licensing reimagined.
item click. So with this, let's see how it looks now. Well, this is with the user on. So without a user, so when the user signed out, first this shouldn't be there. Okay, so let's see if that handled a portion of the CSS. So let's go back here. Let's go to login, test at test.com. Well, test one at test.com. Oh, I think it's test now. Test one. There we go. Okay. Now, if we inspect it and just reset the default. So now we can see that our problem comes. Let's see if our logout. Okay, so our logout works now, and our problem comes with the CSS for the hamburger menu. So we've narrowed it down. So guys, this is what debugging is. It's not the most fun thing to do, but it's necessary. So we're just gonna do this. And now let's find our hamburger menu, and let's fix that. Okay, so we just scrolled down to menu open. There we go. And let's see what the problem is. Okay, so I believe we just have to give it a padding. So we can give it a py2 here, and we're just gonna give every single thing a padding y of 2, py2, and this already has a py2 and a padding y of 2. So let's try that again. So inspect. Let's register, login, test at test.com, test, and let's see, login, test at test.com, test 1. Okay, so now, oh, we still have that same problem. So let's see. this is menu open. Okay, let's try this. Let's see. Block. There we go. Okay. Block. There we go. Block.
Music licensing reimagined.
And that doesn't do anything. Okay, so that did something. Actually, no, let's not make this look like a button. So let's just keep it as pen Y2. Was that what it was? Yeah, pen Y2. Yeah, let's keep all this out. And we don't want it to look like it's a button. So we just want block. And then what we're gonna do, so rather than background red, we're just gonna have it as text red. So that makes it look there we go. So now it looks a little bit better. And we can actually make this, let's change all this to 3.
Music licensing reimagined.
There we go. So now it's a little bit more stretched out. Okay, so we pretty much just finished our CSS. And now if we go to network, we click logout, we're completely out. So that is exactly what we were trying to accomplish. So now we can focus on just the, let's close out of this. Now we can focus on just the logic portion. So if we come back over to App.jsx, we're gonna work on this really quickly. So here, what we're gonna be doing is fixing the problem we have here, which is when we sign out, we shouldn't be sent back to the hero page because it defeats the whole purpose of authentication authorization. We should go right back to the login page. So the best way to do that is within this app function, we can create something called PrivateRoute. And that's a added layer of protection with that of the server side that allows only people that are authorized to go to certain routes. So what we do is we can come here to function app, and we're going to say function. So sorry, we're going to be above function app, and we're going to say function PrivateRoute, and we're going to do this, and we're going to pass in the element, and the element is basically what you see here. So we're going to be saying const user, so we should be importing user. Yeah, so we should be importing use auth, sorry. Use auth. Yeah, so const user equals use auth. So we're doing that. Now we want to return user if there's an element. Well, so if user is available, then we want to go to the element the route that we want. If not, we want to just navigate to login /login. And we could just say we don't need that. We just do this. So what this is saying is, so we're getting the user, right? And now we're saying if we have that user present, then we want to go to the element that we, so /hero /whatever, we want to go there. If we don't have this user present, meaning we're logged out, just stay in the just go straight to the login page and stay there. So how do we now implement this private route? So we go straight to the routes that we want to be private, which one of them would be the hero page, and then we want to say element private route, elements, so the elements within, so PrivateRoute element is equal to HeroPage, and then it should have another enclosing here and one here. So it's gonna look like this. So we're doing this twice for profile also, and this should say profile. Cool. So now if we come over here, we go straight to the login. Why? Because that's what it says. No one's logged in, so we're right in the login. So let's try it again. So let's actually now open this in a mobile view, and let's try it out. Test at test.com, test 1, log in. So we're logged in. That's the hero page. Now if we click logout, we're back in the login. So that's pretty much that. So we can close out of this, and that's exactly what's happening. So if we do it on a desktop view, test at test.com, test 1, as you can see, hero page, we log out, back in the login. So that is the best way to do that, to give it a protected route. So let's see what else we need to do here. So we have our App.jsx figured out. We figured out our navbar. We don't need anything with an auth controller. Our AuthContext has been fixed, and our profile has been fixed. So now what we want to do is come into our hero page and finish fixing up our hero page. All right, guys. So I think the video is already pretty long as it is. So we're gonna leave it at this for the whole hero page and pick it back up on part 5. So all we're gonna do in part 5 is create our hero page, create our hero page controller. So that's what's gonna access the controller is what's gonna be is where our algorithm is gonna live in order to populate things on our hero page. So we're gonna be writing the algorithm there. And then we're able to start with the chat feature. So I tried to make this not too long. I know it's a little bit over an hour and a half, perhaps, but the main point that we did here, the main thing we accomplished in this part was to clean up any bugs, create our profile section, and work on the backend configuration. So the model, I don't know why I keep saying modal. The model, any bug fixes in the model, and the JWT bug. So basically, we did a lot of bug squashing in this part, while also creating our profile section and our PrivateRoute. So in the next one, what we're going to be working on is our hero page controller, and then we're going to get into the chat feature. So this series is probably gonna go over to what this is part 4, is it? It's most likely gonna go to part 5. I highly doubt it's gonna go to 6, but 5 for sure. So with all that said, thanks for watching. Hope you guys like what you see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.